Looking for a great gadget? Our selection of the latest gadget reviews will help you find the ideal drones, GPS devices, toys and more. Also the latest reviews on laptop, mobile phone reviews, tablets, cameras and other gadgets reviews. Please like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
HP Spectre x360 review. Like the best HP laptops out there, the Spectre lineup is designed to be thin, light and packed with the most powerful hardware, and the HP Spectre x360 2019 continues this tradition. In years past, the HP has always ranked as one of the best 2-in-1 laptops, featuring powerful hardware behind a sleek, pleasing design. The 360 in the name refers to the hinges that let you rotate the display, making this device basically two devices in one. The new HP Spectre changes the internals to more up-to-date components, while also making some big changes to the design. The x360 is still just as thin and elegant as ever before, and with previous versions being some of our favorite convertible laptops, this new 2019 model has both a strong base to build upon as well as some high bars to stand up to. Just like HP's laptops, there is quite a few different configurations for the 13-inch HP Spectre 2019, with various specifications and prices to match. The base model comes equipped with an Intel Core i5-8265U processor, 8GB of RAM, 256GB PCIe SSD and a Full HD 1080p IPS touchscreen. This sells for $1,010. For the HP loaded with an Intel Core i7-8565U and 512GB of PCIe SSD storage with the rest of the specs the same, the price tag rises to £1,399. In the US and Australia, the RAM gets bumped up to 16GB for $1,330, $2,799 Australian dollars. The US also has a configuration similar to the previous one but with a less speedy Intel Core i7-8550U processor for $1,180. Meanwhile, in Australia, you can get it with the same components as above but with a 1TB PCIe SSD for $2,999 Australian dollars. If you're after a 4K screen, 16GB of RAM and 1TB PCIe storage, the price is £1,699. In Australia, you can get a 4K display, Core i7-8565U processor and 16GB RAM, but just a 512GB PCIe SSD for $3,399 Australian dollars. It looks like this configuration is currently not available in the US. Things are a little different in Australia, where there are two models that aren't available in the US and UK. Both of these models include SIM card ports for using 4G mobile broadband. The first model costs $3,199 Australian dollars, and includes an Intel Core i7-8565U, 8GB of RAM and a 512GB M.2 SSD. You can upgrade that up with 16GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD for $3,799 Australian dollars. There are also 15-inch models of the x360, equipped with a faster Intel Core i7-8750H processor. No matter whatever specs are most suited for you, it will be easy to find one of the x360 that fits you best. Though to make matters more confusing, not every configuration of the x360 is available in all markets, so you may find your choice slightly narrowed depending on where you live. While it is slightly larger than last year's model, the revamped look of the HP Spectre x360 2019 makes it a far more attractive 2-in-1 than its 2018 predecessor. The design has profited from some subtle changes compared to 2018's model, most noticeably at the top left and right corners, which are now diagonal, giving a more unique look. On the left-hand corner sits the power button, and the right sports an additional USB-C port. The speaker grille that runs along the top of the keyboard has an updated, slick design, and the speakers behind it are again supplied by Bang & Olufsen. A new addition, the fingerprint scanner sits on the right-hand side right below the keyboard. This allows you to log into Windows quickly and easily by placing your finger on the sensor. The touchpad is centered below the keyboard, and it's large enough for comfortable use. However, in daily use, the touchpad isn't quite as responsive as we would like, though on the whole it does fine with multi-touch gestures. Still, it isn't quite as smooth as the touchpads we've used on other laptops. The keyboard, on the other hand, is much better executed. Despite the HP X360's slim form factor, the keys offer enough travel to feel responsive and satisfying when pressed. There's no numpad, but that allows HP to spread the remaining keys across the length of the X360, and they are decently sized, which is helpful to fast typers. This also means that in laptop mode, the HP X360 2019 continues to be a comfortable device to work on for extended periods of time. You might just want to pick up in an external mouse, rather than rely on the touchpad. On the left-hand side is a single full-size USB 3.1 port, which is a nice inclusion as many of us still have devices not equipped with a USB-C port. Having this standard USB port means you can use older hardware without needing a dongle. On the right-hand side are two USB-C ports, with one located on the diagonal corner of the HP body. This is quite a strategic location to have it, as it means any peripherals, or the USB-C power cable, are angled away from you when in use. Additionally, there's an audio jack port, micro SD port and a physical switch so you can disable the webcam, which again is a nice touch for privacy-conscious consumers. As with all of HP's X360 models, the laptop furnished with a 360-degree hinge for its screen, which allows it to be used as a transitional laptop, as well as rotating it all the way back to be transformed into a tablet-like device. You can also set it up in tent mode, as an inverted V, and use it to watch media on. The HP top-notch build quality means that the hinge feels solid when used, so you won't have to worry about damaging it while you angle the screen into a variety of positions. The laptop's 30.88 by 21.79 by 1.47 cm dimensions and 1.33 kg weight make it effortless and comfortable to carry around, and it's not that much bigger or thicker than last year's model at 30.6 by 21.8 by 1.36 cm and 1.26 kg. Yes, the X360 is getting larger and heavier, but only by a little, and considering the specs upgrade, which we'll get to in a bit, that trade-off isn't too bad. HP also seems to have improved the display since last year's model, with the screen looking much brighter and more dynamic than its predecessor. Our review model came with a 1920 by 1080 Full HD display that's 13.3 inches in size. The display is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass NBT, which is essential for any 2-in-1 device to safeguard it from being damaged when in tablet mode. Naturally, it's a touchscreen, and it works fine when you're using a finger, though the HP 2019 also comes equipped with a stylus, more on that in a moment, at no extra cost. The screen panel utilizes in-plane switching IPS technology, which offers wide viewing angles. Since you can rotate the screen to set it in various configurations, this ensures that image quality remains high no matter what the angle the screen is positioned. The HP Spectre X360 2019 also has the HP SureView technology built in. By switching this mode on, you can drastically limit the viewing angles, which is useful if you're working in public spaces, as it makes whatever is on the screen hard to see if you aren't sitting directly in front of it. This feature can be turned on and off using the F1 button on the keyboard, and it works incredibly well, with the screen looking extremely washed out and unreadable when looked at from any angle. Looking at the screen head-on, the image is a little more washed out than usual, but still perfectly usable. Not many people will ever use this feature, but it's still nice to have and works well. There are also models that come with a 4K screen. For many folks, a 4K screen on a 13-inch laptop might be a little too much. Still, it's a welcome option. Though, as we mentioned earlier, the 4K option isn't available in all markets. In action, the screen does more than a credible job of displaying apps and media. Though it isn't the brightest screen we've seen on a laptop, it does its job well. It's worth mentioning that HP X360 2019 has large bezels along the top and bottom of its display. It's too bad as we're used to laptops at this price point having extremely thin bezels, such as the Dell XPS 13, which gives you the most screen real estate possible while looking sleek and modern. In comparison, the big bezels on the HP display feel a bit out of date. Also comes with the HP Active Pen stylus. It's a sturdily built device that feels great to handle and works swimmingly with the touchscreen. The fact that HP has included it with no extra cost, when many of the other manufacturers don't, could and should be a major selling point. We've tested it over the course of a couple of weeks, and find it to handle almost anything we can throw at it. Switching between laptop and tablet mode occurs quickly, without any delay or stuttering as Windows 10 switches between modes. Our review model boasts an Intel Core i7-8565U processor and 8 GB of RAM. The Intel Core i7-8565U is an 8th generation processor that was launched last year, with 4 cores and 8 threads, as well as a base frequency of 1.80 GHz that boosts up to 4.60 GHz. It also comes with Intel UHD Graphics 620 integrated graphics. While this isn't powerful enough to run games on, unless you play less demanding games, or set all the graphical settings very low, it can handle watching and editing videos, as well as photo editing. In our day-to-day use, the HP performed well. It's not the most high-powered laptop in the world, but it handles Windows 10, as well as browsing the internet, creating documents and doing some light photo editing, beautifully. For a 2-in-1 laptop, it offers a smooth experience. In our benchmarks, performs similarly well as the new Dell XPS 13 2019, though Dell's latest Ultrabook does have an edge here. As a media playing device, the laptop boasts an impressive performance, thanks to its vibrant screen and powerful Bang & Olufsen speakers. For students going away for college, the HP is an alluring choice, thanks to its versatility. It's powerful enough to be a productivity beast while also being ideal for entertainment. Looking at the older version, you can see that the newer components in this year's model have given the device a performance boost, albeit not a huge one. From a purely performance-based view, if you've got last year's model, there's no point in upgrading. But if you're new to the HP x360 range, this year's model is the one to get. However, there's an area that completely dominates the XPS 13 and pretty much all of its competition: battery life. HP has been bragging about this year's battery life, and for good reason, as it manages an impressively long time between charges. In our battery benchmark test, during which we play a looped 1080p video with the screen at 50% brightness, the x360 lasted a whopping 12 hours and 37 minutes. For an Ultrabook with these specs, that's an excellent accomplishment, even beating the Dell XPS 13 8 hours and 12 minutes. Sure, there are other laptops out there that boast longer battery life, such as Chromebooks, but the trading power and performance for longevity. With the HP has managed to produce a powerful laptop that runs full Windows 10 with a battery that lasts people beyond a full workday. That's very impressive stuff. It should be noted that the PC Mark 8 battery life test, which replicates more intensive use, such as video calling and web browsing, lasted quite a bit shorter at 4.5 hours. That's to be expected. For most people's general use, and with careful battery management, the x360 should last for 9 hours, at the very least. This is a massive improvement over last year's model, which only managed 7 hours and 28 minutes during our original battery life test. HP has created yet another excellent 2-in-1 device with this year's Spectre x360. A refined design and upgraded internals make it a solid performer with the looks to match. If you're in the market for a laptop which doubles as a tablet, this is a seriously tempting device. Its build quality, design and performance go a long way, justifying its high price tag. However, there's no denying that this is a pricey laptop. If you're after a cheaper option, and can live without a device that can switch into tablet mode, then there are some very good mid-range laptops out there that will better fit your preferences.